Hi everyone, my name is Cindy Boutte, and today I'll be trying to convince my audience that all schools should require their students to wear school uniforms. By a show of hands, how many of you have ever felt guilty about having your parents spend so much money on school clothes every year? Alright, how many of you have ever felt self-conscious about not wearing the in clothes? Well, what if I told you that there was a way to take those feelings away? That is, by implementing school uniforms. Now, before you shake your head no, let me explain to you why this could be a good idea. Although school uniforms may seem unappealing, they actually could be a good idea. School uniforms should be worn at every school because A, they're more economical, B, they lower the pressure of fitting in and actually make a more effective learning environment, and C, because they make it easier to uphold the dress code. And although there is a common argument that school uniforms violate students' First Amendment, there could actually be a pretty good compromise to this. It's no secret that students nowadays want the latest styles and that new wardrobes cost very much. In fact, according to the National Retail Federation, parents of students from kindergarten to 12th grade spend $9.54 billion on clothes alone. Now, if we want to be more specific, that same study found that about $235 were expected to be spent per child every fall. Plus, that didn't even include shoes, which added about $130 to the tab. This means that the actual total would be about $365 per child. Now, keep in mind that this survey was done in 2016, which means that that number has only gone up and that families with more than one child are spending way more than this. So, as you can see, new school clothes are expensive. However, uniforms offer a lighter bulge to our parents' wallets. Now, according to the Statistic Brain Research Institute, the average cost for school uniforms is $249. Now, I realize that this is just as expensive, but keep in mind that the uniforms would be worth your money because they would be worn more consistently, whereas normal school clothes only get used every so often. Also, school uniforms could be reused until the students grew out of them. Now, spending less money isn't the only benefit that uniforms bring, but they could also keep the students' attention on their education. Now, whether or not students want to admit it, they stress over their appearance because trying to fit in with their peers is tough. However, school uniforms would take that stress away. For example, according to the National Association of Secondary School Principals, students feel less pressure when their peers are wearing the same clothing. This means that wearing uniforms allows them to stop stressing over their appearance and keep their attention where it belongs, in their books. So school uniforms actually create a more effective learning environment. So now that we have seen how school uniforms can benefit the parents and students, let's take a look at how school uniforms can benefit the school itself. Now, schools have dress codes, but with so many students, it's sometimes difficult to make sure that they all follow them. However, if the school required all students to wear uniforms, then the school dress code could be more easily enforced. For example, since the school chose and approved the school uniforms, there would be no more violations to the dress code. A common argument against this is that students could still try and break the dress code. Example, pants could be sagged too low or skirts could be raised too high. However, a simple fix to this would just be to require belts and to make the skirts long to begin with. That way, if the skirts were raised, they would still be an appropriate length. Another benefit to this is that there would no longer be unnecessary time spent out of the classroom. For example, students who get dress coded have to go to the office, and that takes away from their learning time. But if there was uniforms, then students would lose no more learning time. So now that I have shown the benefits of school uniforms, it's time to look at one of the most common arguments against it and what could be done to refute this. Many people claim that obligating their students to wear school uniforms violates their First Amendment, the right to express themselves. However, a good compromise to this would just be to have a casual Friday. That is, allow the students to wear whatever they want on Fridays, keeping the school dress code in consideration, of course. Since students attend school 5 days a week, the last day could be used for them to wear the clothing of their choice. This way, students would be able to express themselves and the uniforms will still be put to good use. So now you see that although school uniforms may seem unappealing at first, they're actually a pretty good option because A, they're more economical, B, they lower the pressures of fitting in and create a better learning environment, and C, they're more convenient for dress codes. And even though the whole it violates our First Amendment debate does exist, there actually exists a pretty good compromise to it, casual Fridays. So now you see that school uniforms aren't so bad, and ultimately they could offer some pretty good benefits. Therefore, the next time your school offers this choice, think about these benefits and be a little more thoughtful before stating your final vote. Thank you.